What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. Make sure you click on the subscribe button to get more content out of Naynay's MMA training and lessons learned in MMA and in life. Let's get it. Have you guys ever avoided something that you know that it needs to be settled, it needs to be talked about, but then you don't talk about it because it's either hard to accept the fact that it's there? Yeah, so I avoided talking about and analyzing my fight. And this is where I want to talk to you guys about it because it's been 2 years since the fight and I haven't addressed it and I haven't really analyzed it because I've been too shy about it. And then every time that I look back at it, I feel emotional. Looking back at it, there was a lot of things that I could have done, but I didn't do. And there was a lot of training days that I envisioned myself doing certain things, but when it came down to the fight, I didn't do it. And so this is where I wanted to tell you guys how when we have tools in front of us, sometimes we don't know how to use them. And so one of the biggest lessons that I learned from it is that whenever we have the tools and we don't use them, this is where, like many times, you see people that have potential, it's like it's a waste of potential because all of the things are right in front of you, but then you're not using them. And so that's what happened to me. I had these tools. I had my striking, I had my grappling, I had my full MMA training, but I didn't use them because when it came down to the fight, I froze, like legit. And you guys can see in the fight that when we started the round, I was bouncing here and there, and then you saw when I started striking, we ended up against the cage. And this is where I could have either done more knees, done more strikes, done more, like better cage control. I could have done the wizard. I could have put my head underneath her chin. I could have kicked a lot more. I could have done a lot of those things, and those are the tools that MMA gives us. We have the kicks, we have all these abilities that we could do, but when we don't use them. And that's what happens when sometimes we're too focused on one thing and then we forget about the rest of the things. Bruce Lee always says to not just focus on one thing, but focus on everything too. It's good to, have a focus and have a goal and a concept and a theme, but then when you just focus on that one little thing, then you forget about the rest of the picture, you forget about the surroundings, and you forget about everything. And so that's what happened to me. Looking back at the fight, now I see how we just ended up against the cage, but I didn't use the tools that I had. And so when it comes to life, whenever we are surrounded by resources and opportunities, and there's these things coming at us and it's in front of us, it is up to us to decide what is it that we want so that we can use the right tools and the right resources. When we get overwhelmed, because I get overwhelmed when I know that I can do so much, right? And in MMA, I know that I can have these abilities, but then sometimes I forget to trust my own abilities and trust my own skills. And it all comes down to the confidence. The last post that I made on Instagram, and it was based on the interview that I did with Taz, and the post was on developing confidence. And this is where I see that all of these great fighters and all of these great coaches and everybody that has experience, they never started that way. And I am that person that I do like confidence, and I have lacked a lot of confidence in my training, and it's been over almost 5 years of me training MMA, and I still lack confidence and I still feel heavy. And when I don't perform like I want to, it's mostly because I'm either feeling heavy on the inside, or something is off with my mindset, or something is off with me, and it all translates into my training. because when my mind is cluttered with things that are bothering me or that are not aligned with who I am, I perform that when I'm training because my head's not there, and I'm moving, but I'm not moving efficiently. I'm not moving with a purpose, or I'm bouncing around, but I'm just happy, and I'm not really doing what I can do. And it all comes down to me not trusting myself. And so I understand what it's like to have all of this knowledge and have all of these resources, but not taking advantage of them and not applying them. The tools that MMA gives us are meant to make us better fighters, better martial artists. And I have, and sometimes I feel like I don't have that ability because I stop myself. Because I am sometimes afraid of getting out of my own comfort zone because it's hard. And so this is where, even though I have been training for some time now, and I'm still a baby, and even though I've been training for this time, I still feel like I am not there yet, and I sometimes feel like I suck. Like, it's a true thing, guys. Like, the fact that there's those training days that my head's not there, and then I had a really rough day at work, and then when I come to training, it doesn't translate. What translates is my heaviness, and it shows when I'm sparring. So I know what this sounds like. That part of me. No, what I'm trying to get at you for is that even though these things happen, it doesn't mean it has to be that way. My coach always teaches me no freaking excuses. And just because I have felt like that does not mean that's how I always am. Like, yes, I have felt like I lack confidence. I know that I have felt like I can't do it or that I suck. But that doesn't mean I have to be that way. This is where the practice and the consistency comes into play. I'm not feeling sorry for myself because think about it. After the 3 rounds were over, there was nothing else that I could have done, honestly. So looking back is not looking back and feeling bad for myself. Looking back means learning from it, analyzing it, and doing better to perform. Not feeling bad for myself. But the point is that I'm analyzing these things so that I can become a better martial artist, and I can be myself, and that I can perform better, and I can be the best fighter that I can be. Like, no excuses, man. I don't have it easier, and anybody that has trained MMA for years or anybody with experience, they had never started that way. So don't be fooled. Everybody starts somewhere. This is a lesson to be learned all the time. Like, for real though, I'm forever grateful because my coach sat down with me to talk about the fight, analyze the fight without any emotion. And thanks to that, I am able to freely talk about the things that I've done and freely talk about my mistakes and my weaknesses. Hey man, if you can't face the tough part, then how the hell are you gonna get to the good part? Like, I have to address it or else I can move on from it. Some things just need to be dropped. Some things need to be addressed. So, yeah, so drop a comment, let me know what you think. And you know what, also think about, like, what are the tools that are in front of you that you're not taking advantage of? And if you know that you can use your tools because they are going to help you get to your goals, why not use them? Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And add me on Instagram, it's Naynay_MMA_CMN. I'll see ya soon. Espérense. Y antes que se les olvide agregarme en Instagram. Mi Instagram se llama Naynay_MMA_CMM. Hey.